Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, the point update is here, October 27th, 2025. We have been expecting this for the past couple of days, but they actually dropped it a little bit earlier than I was expecting. I actually just woke up to it being like out for like I think an hour now, which is kind of insane. So what am I expecting from the or the point update for Genesys format? So I'm assuming there's gonna be like a couple staple cards that they just like kind of forgot, things like or not retaliating, saying flying sea. I'm assuming that's just going to be gone this list. I'm assuming that's a card they just completely forgot about, and that's just a card they don't want existing in this format. Things like maybe like X-Drive gets on here, even though I think X-Drive isn't as bad. I think that is still a card they might want to put some points to. But I'm assuming it's going to be a huge list, just like the last one was. So I'm not going to try to predict everything here. We're just going to go straight into it. I know I haven't made a lot of videos on Genesis, but this is something I do want to keep playing. I want to keep making content on the channel for. So let's go see what the point update is going to be. So we'll read a more here. Here are today's changes. You can find some of them of the back. You can find some of the background behind them in last week's article. Here, so reversal quiz goes from 0 to 100. I'm assuming this is for some dumbass FTK that probably exists, so that's perfectly fine with me. DD Dynamite. I'm assuming again just another FTK dumbass card. This is actually was a problem in Master Duel, so I'm assuming this is just another card that they just don't want existing in the format. Same thing with Banquet of Millions. I'm assuming this is because of DD Dynamite that they're also putting Banquet of Millions to 51. Again, just a card they just don't want existing in the format, like another probably FTK card, which makes sense to me. Blackguarding going from 0 to 51. Again, just another card that if people are playing it, they're probably doing some unfun, dumb, nonsense kind of shenanigan things with, even though maybe it's not the greatest, they just don't want existing in this format. So, again, probably fine with that. Earthbound, Immortal, I haven't seen this one. What does this one do? Oh, that's not what I want to do. Control V, there we go. I'm assuming again, if it's an Earthbound card, probably something to do with an FK. There's only you can only control this card if you have no face-up card to destroy this card. Your opponents cannot target this card for attacks. This card can attack directly. If this face-up card leaves the field except by its own effect, destroy as many face-up monsters your opponent controls as possible. If you do, inflict 800 damage for each monster destroyed. Okay, I'm assuming again it was just a part of an FTK because it has the burn thing, probably to do with something like with Black Garden again. It looks like this is just gonna be a list where they're just kind of gonna keep taking out things that do like FTK bullshit. So that's probably fine with me. Gem Knight Lapis Lazuli. Interesting. Okay, so they're going after the Gem Knight stuff. Again, I need a Control C, Control V this one because this is the fusion. Okay, this is what does the fusion do? Must be fusion summoned with the above. You can only use special summon this once per turn. Once per turn, you can send a Gemini monster from your main deck or extra deck to the graveyard. If you do, inflict 500 damage to your opponent for each special summon monster on the field. Okay, so I'm assuming they're just going to go after another card that could potentially FTK. I think they would much rather have Gem Knight OTK exist in the format, but they don't want the FTK existing in the format. So I'm assuming they just put Lazuli a little bit higher than. I'm assuming the other fusion's already on this because that fusion, the other Gem Knight fusion, is also still on the TCG ban list. So I'm assuming that that's still on the point system as well. But they put Lazuli as well. BLs, they put BLs, huh? Interesting. They put it to 100. Wow, that's fucking wild. Blackwing Assault Dragon going from 0 to 1, just having a 1 point cost to it. Probably fine. Bramble Rose Dragon going from 0 to 1. Also, like a playable card in the format because it's just a good card in general, but it does have that inflict damage to it as well. So I think they just wanted to have it one just to prevent maybe some FTKs, but also just putting it as a point cost just for the the Rose Dragon deck, kind of cool as well. Same thing with Flare Metal, another card that just inflicts damage to your opponent that probably has some FTK to it. So they're putting a point to it just for that case. Ebigeshki Gus Kraken. This is the hand loop, right? If I'm not mistaken. This is what this card is. Let me just make sure I'm not mistaken about that. No, it's the other one. This is... No, it is the hand loop one. Okay, I'm just making sure. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Probably shouldn't exist in a format like this. With Aquamira and Necromira going to 1, so this is just so you can't play Gus Kraken with the mirrors. Okay, yeah, just to prevent Ghost Kraken from being playable. Evagishki Mine August. This is the I forgot what this one is as well. Is this the another? This is the other one that was like really really old, but also can do an FTK if it wants to as well. Or it doesn't do an FTK, but like it's just a part of. Well, yes, they can do an FTK. It's just a long ass FTK combo. But they put it to 1 point. I'm assuming that you need other stuff in the deck for it as well. So you can put to 1 is fine. Ouroboros is going 100. Yeah, thank God. Yeah, fuck this card. I'm fine with the Ouroboros going from 67 to 100. Perfectly fine with me. Making a card pretty much unplayable. Yeah, perfectly fine with that. Fuck that card. Heraldry Crest going to 1. Yeah, probably fine. Question. I have not heard of Question before. What is this card? Sorry, I know I'm looking up a lot of cards. I just need to make sure what the cards do before. Oh, sorry. Yeah, probably should type in Yugioh. There we go. Question. What does this do? When this card activates, your opponent cannot check cards in the graveyard. What? When your opponent calls the name of the first monster found at the bottom of your graveyard, if he or she calls it right, the monster is removed from play. She calls it wrong, the monster is special summoned to your side of the field. Wow, okay, what the fuck were people doing with that card? Wild card. I've never seen that card before. That's dumb. Okay, whatever. I guess they're just putting points to that. I don't know. There some bullshit going on with that? That's wild. And then last turn going to 100. Yeah, it's probably fine as well. They just don't want people fucking dealing with this. They don't want to be dealing with the rollings and shit with this card. Even though I think the card is fine, I guess they just don't want to deal with that card. But okay, so most of the things that are getting increased in points were just evolved with some, probably to do some FTK cards, because a lot of these like inflict damage to your opponent, so they're probably just doing FTK nonsense they just did not want to deal with. Now for cards that are getting minus points, actually, holy shit, this is a huge list. Oh my god, I just realized that, by the way. So I guess we're going to be here for a little bit. Metamorphosis going from 10 to 5. Okay, I guess they want this card to be a little bit more playable. This is the old Metamorphosis, right? This is not the new one, just to make sure. I have to type in Yu-Gi-Oh. Yu-Gi-Oh. Yes, this is the old one. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's fine. Premature Barrel from going from 25 to 7. A little interesting because this is a equip card that could be abused, but I think they're probably fine with it. I'm fine with this card going to 7. Monster Reborn going from 15 to 10. Also, I'm fine with that. Mirage Nightmare, they're going to 0. What? Wild. They're putting Mirage and Nightmare to 0. That's crazy. That's kind of insane. This is the draw 4 card, right? If I'm not mistaken. And then you discard 3, but if you get rid of the equip spell, or the continuous spell before that point, you get to keep the cards in hand. That's wild. Card to save for turn going from 44 to 33. I guess it makes it a little bit more playable, but like that's still a huge cost for your deck just to draw a couple cards from. It's still a broken card, don't get me wrong, but I think the 33 is still a little high. Heavy Storm going from 20 to 10. That's huge. What the fuck? Holy fucking shit. That's actually really huge, because having like a back row removal is kind of insane for this format. Like the problem was like the big guys were all really high up in points, and I can see that Feather Duster and Lightning Storm also are going down to 15 and 20, making it where that makes it like a little bit playable. Yeah, it's still a lot of points, but that's more playable than what they were before that. Like Lightning Storm being a 40-point card was just never going to get played. Feather Duster being a 30-point card, like that's still pretty high, and then Heavy Storm being a 20, but now they're 10, 15, and 20. That makes it a little bit more playable. I think Feather Dusters gets, or Feather Storm, or Heavy Storm, sorry, still will now be played with 10. Like that is really good. So I think that will be played a lot. Feather Duster at 15 and then Lightning Storm at 20. I think at that point, just play Heavy Storm if you're going to play these cards, because that 10 cost is just less for you. But that's kind of insane. They're reducing down the cost of those cards. Impulse going from 30 to 25. I still think that makes it where you probably can't play it. But I think people will try it but like 25 feels still too high for a hand trap, to be honest with you. But Impulse is crazy, so I don't know. Maybe you get away with it. Dominant Spiral from going from 10 to 5. Yeah, Dominant Spiral kind of sucks, to be honest with you, so I'm fine with that. A playable Dominus card going from 10 to 5. Yeah, sure. I wanted to see what people can do with this card, but I think this card kind of sucks, so 5 I think is fine. Nibiru going from 10 to 5. Wild. Okay, I guess they want Nibiru to be a playable hand trap, which I'm fine with as well. So Nibiru going from 10 to 5. I'm fine with that. More Moonlit Shield going from 7 to 3, making it another hand trap you can play in your deck for less cost. I'm fine with Moonlit Shield being a 3-point cost card. Snow Rabbit going to 3. It depends on formats because Snow Rabbit sometimes isn't the greatest in some formats, but in other formats it's insane. But I think in the current format, it's not really that good. But going to 3 cost, it makes it where it's more playable in a format. So I think that's probably fine as well. As long as you have like the Ash and Imperms, like those good hand traps a little higher, you can make these like by technicality worse hand traps a little bit lower cost, so they can still play it, but it's a little bit worse than Imperm and Ash, right? So Ravis going from 5 to 3. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine with me. And then Baron going from 85 to 80. Does that change the math on some things? I guess maybe. I don't know. I still feel like 80 is kind of still a little too high for Baron to Fleur, to be honest with you. But I guess that's fine. All right, for other cards, we have Upstart going to 3. So yeah, they're just probably that good. Honestly, a card that draws 1 card. There's a lot of them in the format, so putting it with more points, perfectly fine with me. Brow going to 3 is kind of insane. Extrav. Here's Extrav. This is one of the cards I was predicting. Going from 0 to 10 makes it where it's no longer free, but 10 is still something you can still work with if you want to play Extrav. So, yeah, this is fine with me. But Extrav being a free card, a lot of people, I guess, just didn't like, and I guess they didn't like it either, but it now has 10 points. Trap Trick going from 0 to 3, just so it has some point value to it, is fine for the trap decks that run this card. Rescue Ace Impulse going from 0 to 5. So this was popular because this was kind of like a people's way to draw 2 cards during your opponent's turn instead of playing, like, if you can't play the Fuas, Rescue Impulse, or the Molcharmy cards. Rescue Ace Impulse was kind of the free, like, cheaper option for the Charmy cards, but I guess they are going to put some points to it. It's 5, not as high, but, now you can run Charmy cards instead of Impulse if you're trying to argue for Impulse. And then Airlifter going from 10 to 5, so this is just reducing it down to make maybe Rescue Ace a little bit more playable, I guess. Dragon's Mind, this is the counter trap, right? Going to 7, so I guess they just don't want a free counter trap for any deck that could play Dragon's Mind to be available, which is fine. Solemn Scolding going from 0 to 5, this is just one of the other Solemn cards that probably they just didn't have hit, so they're just putting it to 5 now. Iron Thunder was a free counter trap as well, but now they have 5-point cost to it, so now it has some point cost to it. 5 is still low, but it's still something that you're gonna have to manage now. Super Poly going from 10 to 13, which is kind of a little crazy. Still probably, like, if you're going to play it, it does now require 9 more points to play in your deck if you want to play the play set. So it could change the math, but yeah, it's still fine with me. Breakout going from 0 to 7. Wild. Okay, so they're hitting Goblin Biker with this. But yeah, kind of wild. Going to 7. That's insane. Terratop is now going to 7 as well. Fucking wild as fuck. Nash Knight going from 0 to 10. So they want to have some points on this card, so they're putting it to 10. Okay, and then Large going from 0 to 20. Holy shit. That's insane. What the fuck? Okay. Yeah, I don't know if that might just knock it out completely, because that was like a free extra deck card, but now it costs 20 points. That's kind of wild, to be honest with you. Okay, Habakiri going from 0 to 100. Okay, sorry, bro. Fuck. I just wanted Mitsu to be playable in this format. I made the deck profile on it, and now it's just completely unplayable. Habakiri from 0 to 100. Yep, I kind of assumed that was a deck they just did not want existing in this format. Even though I think it was, like, fine, but I guess they just did not want Mitsu existing, so they put Habakiri to 1, and then Manju and Tenju both go to 1. Who cares? Habakiri's at 100. Ritual at they could put the Ritual and Prayers down, like, way lower. Like, Habakiri's gone, so who cares? But I guess you still have Murakuma, so I guess they just don't want to. They just want to make sure this deck is still unplayable. But yeah, Habakiri being at 100, and then Ritual and Prayers still being a 50-point cost card. Mitsu is unplayable for sure. Okay. Number 99. So this is hitting like Utopia cards, going from 0 to 80. Holy shit. Holy fuck, they're just hitting the fuck out of that. Dragulion going from 100 to 80. 80 is still a steep cost, so I don't know if that changes the math on stuff. Numeron Dragon going from 1 to 21, so You can't play it with. I forgot what the other one, the one that specials it, is it? It's not regularly on it. I forgot what the other one summons it, but 21 is still like a steep cost. Crimson Dragon going from 100 to 80. Okay. What's Hot Dragon at? Can you play Hot Dragon with this? Is that something they just want existing? Oh, no, it's actually right here. It's at 21. Okay, so yeah, never mind. You can't play that. But 80 still seems very steep. I was only saying that, like, if this was lower than 20, you would maybe get away with it. But since this is a 21-point cost card, who cares? Cosmic Blazar, 21, so you still can't summon it off of Crimson. And then Stardust Divine Dragon, also 21. Again, they're just hit the cards that also are summonable off of Crimson Dragon, just to make sure you can't summon these cards off of Crimson Dragon. But 80 still feels high for Crimson for that. Okay, this card I have not heard of. And I can't even pronounce that card, but I'm going to go read it real quick. Sorry, this reaction is taking a while. There's a lot of cards on this list. Oh, is this kind of Floodgate? If you control a face-up monster that was Tribute, Ritualed, or Fusion summoned, until your opponent's next turn, either player can Synchro or XYZ summon. Synchro and XYZ monsters cannot. Oh, yeah, it's just a Floodgate. Cool. This is a Floodgate that shouldn't exist in this format because the only things are Synchro, XYZs, and Fusions, and this prevents 2 of them. So, yeah, makes sense. It actually goes to 10, so it's actually still, by technicality, playable. Flying Sea. This is the card I thought they were just going to absolutely destroy, was Flying Sea, and they only put it to 7. That's interesting. Okay, so it's still like somewhat playable if you can afford the points for it. Wow, I thought they were just gonna annihilate this, but I guess this only hits XYZ. So if you're versing a deck that doesn't XYZ summon, you're just playing it. Your appointed cost is worthless. So I guess that's the argument. Retaliating Sea goes from 0 to 5. I guess that's fine. I guess they want cards like this because I'm assuming Shifter's not on here, so Shifter's still a 10-point card. Invoke Caligula from 90 to 100. Just to make sure you can't do unfun bullshit with this card. Fine with me. All 6 Berry Statues go from 60 to 70. Yeah, so they're just like, no. Get rid of Berry Statues. Get this shit out of here. Okay. They should be 100 points. Fuck 70. 70 makes it where they're still playable. Put it to 100. Alright. Oh my god, there's still so much cards. Holy shit. Vanquish Soul Holy Sue goes from 10 to 33. Holy shit. Okay, that's a fucking massive hit for Vanquish Soul. Holy shit, that's insane. Jalon goes to 11, and then same thing with Raisin goes into 11. Okay, so they just hit the fuck out of Vanquish Soul. Holy shit. It might still be playable. You just have to fuck around with the ratios now. Like, that changes the ratios so much. Especially Holy Sue being a 33-point card. Holy fucking shit. That is wild. Exo Sister Pack is a 0. Now goes from 0 to 10. Michaelis goes from 0 to 10 as well. Okay. Makes sense. Yeah, they just want to hit Exo Sister. They didn't outright, like, hit it. You know, this is still probably playable to a certain extent. But that's kind of wild. This is the other Makonko card, right? If I'm not mistaken, they're just putting points on it. I guess they just don't want this to be as play. Oh no, it's not. Never mind. I'm an idiot. I think I gotta look it up. What does this card do? If it's return to the hand, you can only use the following effects. If you control a monster with 800 attack or defense, and this card's in your hand immediately after its effect resolves, you can normal summon this card. If this card is normal summon, add a level 4 light or dark monster with 800 attack or defense. Oh, is this just like a consistency card for, I think, Exo Sister? Okay, just put a little bit more points on it. Okay. Dynamorphia Domain goes from 0 to 1, and then Frenzy goes from 0 to 1. This is just because last turn just got hit, right? And this was like the deck that played last turn in this format. So, yeah, I guess this is still fine. This card, QQ, oh my god, there's so many cards I just not heard of, so I have to look up. The fuck does this card do? What the fuck? If this card's in your hand or graveyard, reveal a level 9 monster in your hand, except for this card. Special summon both this card and the revealed monster in defense position. Also, you can not special summon from the extra deck for the rest of the turn, except rank 9 or higher XYZs. You can only use the effects once per turn. A rank 9 or higher XYZ monster that gains this effect, this card gains 900 attack and defense. Okay, was this played in a Generator? Maybe? Only going up to 1 because VFT exists. That's the only deck I can think of that would play that card because they're, you know, level 9s. World Legacy Monstrosity goes from 0 to 1. Another card that I do have to look up real quick. Apologies. Yeah, this is just another special summon level 9 monster from hand. Target level 9 monster you control. Special summon from the deck 2 level 9 with different original types. Okay, yeah. So this is another, I'm assuming, generator hit. because again, VFD's at 100, so you put a little bit of these at 1 point, then they have to change their deck a little bit. Leviathan, Generator, Boss of Shadows, now a 1 point card, making it where they're trying to get VFD out of that deck. VFD is still VFD, so you might probably just switch out the cards though. Treasure of the King, so they're going after Odeon, goes from 0 to 5. And it looks like that's it. Okay, cool. I think that's the only Odeon hit. Nirvana, the Power Patron of Creation. This is the Art Mage fusion monster. Goes from 0 to 5. 5 is still, playable. Same thing with Treasure of the Kings. Like, 5 is still playable. You just have to change the math on certain things. Do Warrior goes from 0 to 7. Kind of insane. Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss goes from 0 to 20. So that was just like a free Omni negate for the format. Like, that technical Omni, you have to target the card, but now it goes from 0 to 20, so 20 is kind of steep, but probably can still play if you've switched up the math. Totem Birds goes from 0 to 3, and then Cicada Geese goes from 5, so this makes it where they're hitting the, what's their name, the MST deck, Radiant Typhoon, because the Radiant Typhoon decks played this, so now they have cost to them. Okay. Canine, they're going after Canine more, so Nohari goes to 15 now, Jokul goes to 15, and Werewolf is now at 10. Holy fuck, they just don't want Canine existing in this format. They're just going to keep putting points on that. Photon Fortress, F the Blaster, this is the rank 9, right? Goes to 13 points. Trish, Dragon of the Ice Spirit, goes to 13. So interesting. Foxy Tune goes to 5. They're hitting the punk stuff, and then Megalith. Oh, they're hitting after Megalith. That's wild. I wanted to try that deck. I don't know. 33 points seems insane. I don't know. Especially with Block Dragon being high up as well. Interesting. Oh my god, they're hitting Fallen. Holy fuck. Okay. This is all branded cards. Falling of the Virtuous is now a 15-point card. Yeah, that quick play spell is kind of crazy, so it kind of makes sense that they're hitting that card. Albion, Branded Dragon, goes to 20. Holy shit. Titaniclad goes to 10. Spring goes to 10. Granganoil goes to 10. Brigand goes to 10. Holy shit. Dogma goes to 10. Lubellion goes back down to 10. Holy shit. It was at 33, but it's now back down to 10. Mirror Jade goes to 10. Oh, okay. Branded Fusion goes to 40. Holy fuck. Okay. Holy shit. Mercurier goes to 5, and then Masquerade goes to 16. Again, just another card that probably, burns, so they don't want existing, but, with a less cost, so, they probably are fine with it somewhat. Interesting. So they put Mirror Jade and Lubellion down to 10, which is kind of cool. It makes it a little bit more playable, but they put the rest of the fusions at 10 as well. Interesting. I wonder if you can get away with a deck like this. Branded Fusion being at 40, though, is kind of steep. Makes it where you can only play the one Branded Fusion. But I think you can fuck around with Branded with this list, to be honest with you. Like, that's kind of insane. Sure, yes, Branded Fusion being a 40-point card is kind of sucks, but if you can get away with one Branded Fusion, like the extra deck now all being a 10-point cost cards, you can kind of fuck around with your extra deck a little bit more, because the problem was like Lubellion and Mirror Jade being at 33 with Fusion being at 33 makes it where like, because I know Cartesia and Quem also have points if I'm not mistaken, so I don't know, I want to try that. I actually want to try stuff like that. Like, that's actually pretty interesting. Okay, Rhoda goes from 40 to 35, okay. E-Telly goes from 40 to 35. Okay, I still think those are too high of a cost to be playing those cards. Same thing with Tanky, still a little too high at 35. Fossil Dig, again, same thing. All these consistency cards being at 30. If they're just all going down to 35, I still think that's probably still too high. A Nightmare Apprentice goes from 40 to 20. Okay, makes it a little bit more playable. A Shunna goes from 33 to 13. Holy fuck, this was a 33-point cost card. Holy fuck, goes to 13. Hidden City goes from 33 to 13. Okay, this is the cards that were just completely unplayable at 33. So I guess they're trying to put them into 13 to make them somewhat playable. Union Hanger goes from 33 to 25. Okay, 25 is still rough, but math now can change a little bit. Emergence goes from 33 to 25. Again, a little bit rough at 25, but you can get away with it a little bit. Geyserist goes from 20 to 0. Okay, yeah, I don't know why they have a point cost on that. Proving Grounds goes from 33 to 25. Again, 25 still a little rough. Rejection goes from 15 to 10. Tamer Editor goes from 20 to 33, so they're actually increasing that. That's kind of wild. Maizen the Battle Ninja, okay. 20 to 5, okay, they're actually putting down the ninjas, because ninjas were a little too high in this list, to be honest with you. That was kind of a little high for me. Armor Ninja goes from 20 to 5. Sprite Starter goes from 20 to 10. Yeah, I think that's probably fine. Phantom of Yubel goes higher. Holy shit. Goes from 50 to 76. They really don't want this fucking card playable. Okay, they're putting Nightmare Throne down to 25. Okay. So they just don't want you playing Phantom of Yubel, but they're fine with things like Nightmare Throne existing. Okay. Gruesome Gravescorner goes to 0. And then Raid Raptor Vanquish Lanius goes from 5 to 0 as well. Holy fucking shit. That was a list, huh? It took me, what, 25 minutes to go through everything? Holy shit. Okay. So what have I basically got from this list? I'm getting that Branded is pretty much playable, is what I'm getting from that. I'm getting that they're trying to get rid of the FTKs that still exist in the format. Things like Reversal Quiz, Daddy Dynamite, and shit like that. Things that could cause an FTK, they're just like, no, 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 no. Get them out of this format, right? They don't want that in this format. They're trying to get the big hitters for back row hate. Things like Heavy Storm and Lightning Storm and Feather Duster are now going down, so they're trying to make those playable in this format, which is interesting. They're putting like the bad hand traps like Moonlit Chill and Snow Rabbit down to 3, so they're a little bit more playable. Same thing with Nib going down to 5. That makes it a lot more playable as well, which is fine with me, to be honest with you. And then like a lot of like deck hits. So like Mitsurugi, just unplayable now, in my opinion. Cannot play this deck. You can try to make this deck playable. I don't think the deck is playable. Like they hit Vanquish Soul very, very hard, to be honest with you. I wonder if this is still playable. Probably is. Exo Sister gets hit in this list. Dynamorphia gets hit. The generator stuff, they didn't like hit VFD. Because VFD is already at 100, so they're just trying to make like everything like 1 point cost to make it, you play the deck a little bit differently, so that makes it a little interesting. They hit like extra deck for Radiant Typhoon stuff, but this is the interesting part, is the branded stuff. I think you can get away with branded somehow. I don't know how. This is something I'm going to try, but I think you can kind of get away with it, especially since Mirror Jade and Lebellion went down to 10. You just kind of have to fuck with the extra deck a little bit there. And then, yeah, and then just a lot of the consistency stuff going down to 35. Still think 35 is still way too high, to be honest with you, but it makes it a little bit more playable. I still think 35 is a little too high though. But yeah, I did take forever reacting to that. I do apologize. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like, subscribe for more content on the channel, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.